What if we could avoid 30 to 50% of our bad choices? We would save time. We would save money. We would have fewer regrets. We would have less stress and fewer problems. Could this increase our joy? Would this increase our peace? Many times we try to find peace, but finally realize that we already have it. There are just some obstacles blocking the way for us to receive it. Let's look at a couple areas where this takes place. First, we have confusion. Too much confusion in one area can affect other areas. An unclear and unclean mind will cause us to forget things. Look at the Passion Translation, Acts 19:32. The frenzied crowd shouted out one thing, and others shouted something else, until they were all in mass confusion, with many not even knowing why they were there. Confusion will have us say things that are untrue, but at the time we think they are true. Look at Acts 21:34. Again, starts in the same way. Some in the crowd shouted one thing, and others something else, just adding to the confusion. Since the commander was unable to get to the truth because of the disturbance, he ordered that Paul be brought back to their headquarters. Now here we look at the fact that our holy God is not the God behind confusion, and he doesn't want it in any of his churches. 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is the God of harmony, not confusion, as is the pattern in all the churches of God's holy believers. Next, we'll look at frustration. Holding your sin inside without humbly confessing to God can generate a continuous life of frustration. Again, we're going to look at the Passion Translation, Psalm 32, verse 3. Before I confessed my sins. Pay attention. This is the first phrase in this verse. Before I confessed my sins, I kept it all inside. My dishonesty devastated my inner life, his spirit, causing my life to be filled with frustration, irrepressible anguish, and misery. Irrepressible means not able to be controlled or restrained. Okay, here's a good example of this. Let's say you have a faucet on your wash basin in the basement that has a slight leak. Now you seem to be too busy to fix it. Next, your wife starts nagging you to fix it. So you take a minute, you go down in the basement, and you turn off the valve underneath the tub going to the faucet so it doesn't leak. Now, 2 days later, your wife goes down to do laundry. She wants to wash out one of the kids' garments, and she turns on the faucet and there's no water. She goes upstairs to get her phone, and she wants to call you and tell you that the faucet doesn't work. and that you must have fixed it wrong. But now you don't answer your phone because you're in a meeting. When you finally notice that she tried to call, it's 2.5 hours later. You call her and find out that she's really frustrated and mad. And now that makes you frustrated and mad. And you yell out to God, "Why do you let these things happen?" What you didn't hear was God's Spirit telling you when you turned off the valve under the wash tub that was not going to fix the problem. This means you caused your own frustration. And the bad part is you caused your wife's frustration. Let's move on. For our last verse, we have Paul's first letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 8. Therefore, I encourage the men to pray on every occasion, with hands lifted to God in worship, with clean hearts, free from frustration and strife. We need to see the importance Paul sees in this. Pray in every opportunity you have. We've all heard the phrase, pray without ceasing. This doesn't mean nonstop continuously. It means when you're thinking of God, when you're prompted by His Spirit to pray, or you might see a homeless person or a car accident to be concerned enough to pray for. Then it says, humbly lifting our hands to God in worship, not throwing up your hands in frustration. Having a clean heart doesn't mean you run it through the car wash. It needs to be free of contamination, confusion, and any other ungodly goo. Remember, God shows us how to rid these things all the way up to the frustrating faucet that you didn't take care of. Listen to your Heavenly Father, who always knows best.